Alright. So time to do a little bit more loot and scoot update for you guys, or loot module update for RGMercs is probably the correct way to word that. Currently, so the new ways things are going to lay out, we have two database tables. We have one for advanced loot rules and one for all items that we've ever seen or looted, or if you want like this one, I have one that's all of the items from Project EverQuest. All right, now I'm going to first nuke the items table because I'm going to show you what it looks like when you have rules but you don't have an items table. So you can nuke the items and start fresh if you ever need to, or copy rules tables over. That will allow you to, if you go play on a different server, copy these rules, and they are there. They have red X's because right now I can't use. Oh, I do have links. Surprisingly, I have links. Oh yeah, because the rules table saves links. So you can right click to open the link. I forgot about that. And you can click on this guy to edit the rule. I don't have icons. So that's why we'll get that notice. But these are items we have rules for, so if we do see them later, we will follow the rule. And my items table is currently empty. In fact, if I search for any like book, seeing the books, words, and we just make the table, it should be empty. Now, this table over here, this tab is going to show all of the items that you have a rule for to start with that are in your database. If you don't have it in your database, it's not going to show up, even though you have a rule for it. That's why these are red. If you don't have a rule for it in global or normal, but it's in your database, we're not going to show those either because the full-size database for at least this server is 117,000 items. That's just a direct dump from EQ emulator. Yeah, that's a lot of items to throw into a table and display in IMGUI, so we're not going to. But if you loot new items, you'll create rules for them, and as you create rules, they'll show up in this table as well as in this table. And anything you look up out of the database that does exist will show up in this table, and it'll stay in this table until you restart. So this is kind of your like everything I have a rule for plus anything I've looked up since I started RGMercs this session. But first we're going to go over, now we're going to go over some settings here. We have a new items window that'll pop up if you choose to let it pop up. If you don't, there'll be a tab here, and it's just so that you can look at what was decided for you and saved, and or make changes if you need to. And a couple of other things will happen when you do make that change. Now, all of these settings are kind of the same. They haven't really changed much. I did add a couple. One of them is can use only. So if something's marked as keep, not sell or quest or whatever, but keep, if it's marked as keep and you have this turned on and it's something that you can't use, like you can't wear it, then you're not going to pick it up. This is handy for coupling with loot new no drop or loot no drop new. So loot no drop is going to let you loot no drop items that you have rules for. If you don't have a rule for it, we're not going to loot it. Now, loot no drop new will say, well, we don't have a rule, we're just going to loot it anyway, and set a rule for it based on whatever we determine. If you also have can use only, it's going to not loot that no drop item that you cannot use by default. So I turn this on in conjunction with no drop new and no drop so that I can loot no drop items. Another new feature was check corp once. The old routine was we would just keep checking all the corpses every X amount of time cycle, and if you had items set to ignore, they would stay on the corpse. you could hide the corpse, but the corpse is still there. So the game knows it's there, MacroQuest knows it's there, you just don't see it, and you would try to loot it again. This prevents that. Now, if you get a new item and you decide you want to change the rule because it was set to ignore and you change it to something else, it'll unlock that corpse. If the corpse is still around, your guys will go try to loot following the new rule. Let's see, what else have we added that's kind of new into this thing? That's really it for news. Oh, keep spells. So if you get spell drops, you probably want to keep them, and you can turn that on, and it'll keep them. If you don't have that on, it's just going to go based on do you already have a rule, and then your thresholds over here for selling prices. And then again, auto tag is a clutch one. I personally always keep this on because items marked. If you don't have auto tag on, we're only going to mark an item as 3 things: keep, ignore, or bank. And bank is only marked if you have bank trade skills on. And then every single item that's a trade skill item, your guys are going to keep, and it's going to try to put it in the bank when you go and run a bank routine. Personally, I don't do trade skills, and I only keep things if they actually have a sell value. So I don't use that option, but those are the 3 defaults. If you have auto tag on, well, now we'll automatically tag sell and tribute stuff for us based on these settings as well. So normally if it met your minimum sell price, we would just say, okay, keep it. And then we would make you decide later if you sold it, and then it would auto add the sales or something. But this will automatically tag it to sell. Or if it met your minimum, it met your minimum tribute value, and the tribute value was higher than your sell value, it'll flag it as tribute. That's pretty much it for those new rules. I'm going to rework exclude bag because I don't like the way it was and it didn't really work. I think I'm going to make it be by slots and then let you list slots so that you can just be like, I don't want bag 3 or bag 9 and 10. Those are usually my 2. If anything in those, don't sell them. I don't care what the rule says for the item, but that's a future map problem or future grim problem. We'll worry about that later. Now, again, I got rules. I got no items in my table. Let's go kill some stuff so we can get some items in the table. And actually, real fast, I'm going to stop Mercs. We're going to nuke that rules table too. Because I want to show you from a blank slate. So, no rules, no items. Perfect. Let's get the rest of the goobers running and it'll start this all over. Quick, painless. When I see this travel window pop up, I know my druid's loaded, and that's the last person in the list to load. And then we'll go kill some stuff. Hey, there it is. And switch to miscellaneous. Oh, that doesn't matter here. Switching to miscellaneous would allow her to evac me. Come to me, guys. You get hung up in that stupid little thing. I know, it's a pain. You hate it. Come out of the wall. I should fix the mesh trigger so that it knows that building exists. That might help. Let's go kill some things and we'll make some rules and stuff. Killing things fast night. Okay, maybe not. I'm still wearing bronze. This is a new emulator server that High Tech spun up, so it's not like I have a bazaar I can go to and buy a bunch of gear. I am the guy that sells everything on the bazaar to everybody. So, yeah, let's fix this so everyone populates with real data because I like seeing real health and mana and XP bars. All right, so that guy had nothing. Let's go find the spawn that's got items. Man, let's kill him. Just kill Vulcan. Back him up, bitch. I don't want you falling off the ledge. Let's go, let's go. Alright, kill him. That's trying that thing. A couple other things in there. We can kind of go over some of these settings while we wait for things to populate and waiting for items. So some other key settings. Always destroy is evil, but it's useful, but it's evil. It's got some dangers. Always destroy is going to destroy anything that's marked as destroy, which is normal for do destroy, but it'll also destroy anything marked as ignore. So use this with caution. If you really just want to make sure you clean up corpses all the time, check corpse once. It's only going to check it once, so that's beautiful. And if you hide corpses that are looted, you won't have that issue anyway. All right, so we got the pop-up window. We looted some items because obviously we have no rules. So we got a pop-up window. Let me minimize that thing. This and this are the same. So if you have auto pop-up enabled here, this turns on. If you don't, it hides. And it shows you a little bit of key information, like is it no drop floor, is it an augment, is it trade skill. Going to preset some rules for me because I have auto tag on. And if I decide I want to change that from ignore to destroy, so all my guys have ignored it, they're leaving it. Well, we'll wait till the fight's over to show you. They're all going to leave it behind because it's a destroy item, or it's an ignore item. If I set it to destroy, well, now they're going to go around and pick it up and destroy it when they get to it. Same thing with this guy. I don't need those. That's, I believe, a quest gem, so I'm going to mark it as quest. And yeah, that's fine too. So if you don't care and you agree with those settings, that's fine. They're going to make the rules automatically. So my normal rules were going to automatically populate. And then when I said save for each item, it changed that rule to what I wanted it to be. Oh, there's a slider here, guys, for people like me that have trouble reading on high-res screens sometimes. Contacts get a little dry. I got to zoom in a little. I don't want to pull out the glasses. Anyways, so those will populate into the table by default. And that new items tab is just for you to confirm things later. So for the items that are ignore, it'll know, oh, you wanted to destroy those. Cool. This one's still set to ignore. This one's set to destroy. I go into here and I change this one to destroy. It doesn't update. It's not going to tell them to go destroy that now. Only that new items pop-up will. That one will unlock that corpse and say, hey, this corpse is available. Go loot what's on it still. So now, same thing here. We can make a rule. This edit window, sorry, I forgot to show you this part, is a miniaturized version of the new items. Doesn't show you all the things, but you can edit. You pick the table. By default, it's normal. If it's an item that we didn't have a rule for, so like let's delete this rule and go over here. It's an item we've looted today, so it's in here. But if I stop this and restart Mercs, hey, my guys are going to go try and loot again. Now it reappeared because I deleted it before. Let's tell them to destroy it so they get rid of it real fast, and then we'll delete the item again. All right, cool. Somebody go to destroy that thing. Thank you. So yeah, somebody went back and destroyed it for us because I said, hey, that's a destroy item. So let's try this one more time. We'll kill Mercs. We'll turn it back on. So there you go. I forgot to delete the rule. Now we'll kill Mercs and we'll turn it back on. We know the item's in the database. It's not in my rules. Now, what was the name of that item? I forget. It was something, I don't know, Dusty. We'll just do a D and do a search. We'll do a D and do a search. There it is. Dixie remains. It's in the database. We didn't have a rule for it. We had to search for it to show up here. From here, I can left click, and it'll bring up this table, the modify items thing, same as before. If it's blank, it defaults to new or normal items. Again, you can pick your rule. If it's a quest, so by default, quest is going to loot whatever amount your quest max or quest keep setting is set to. But if you want to say I only want one of those, you can set it to that. And in the rules, now it's going to show the quest icon with a 1 next to it because you only want one. And if you later decide, no, I actually really do just want to destroy those, now it's set to destroy. And it has no value, so ideally, unless you're doing the quest that requires the lore no trade item, I don't know. To me, that just screams no brainer, destroy. So that shows items going into the table, items being looted, new rule pop-ups, as well as looking up items that are in the table that you don't have rules for. But I'm going to show you that once more after we kill this, I'll nuke the database I have of items, and I'll put in the one of all items for this server. And that'll allow you to see, like, hey, I want to look up this item and I don't have it. How can I do that? And we can do that from there. So let's stop everybody in Mercs again. I'm going to kill this table. That's the items one. I'll leave the rules for now. Back up. No. I've been nuking and backing things up. I don't even trust my own rules table anymore. We'll throw in the bigger items table. That's again almost 118,000 items, just shy. And we'll refire up Mercs. So again, I still only see the items I have rules for in this table. But now if I search for robe, I have 21 pages of 50. So if we do this by 100, there's at least 1,000 different robes in the game on this server, because that's from this database. I can, again, once I clear this out, it will reset back to all of the items. So if I go back to the collector stuff, it should be in the C's. It is sorted by alphabetical. Yeah, there's that other item, collectors, blah, blah, blah. It is in there. So that's cool. It lets you to import and look up items. And then when I, again, exit out and restart, it's just going to show me the normal items. So it just kind of filters it out so you don't have 117 plus thousand items sitting in one table trying to draw itself every time. I did add paging and thresholds, so that's nice. Keeps you from scrolling too far off the screen. And I am going to nuke that table one more time because I want to show you one other feature. So let's kill this. Cool. Kill this. Cool. We'll restart Mercs. And so this line here, I'm going to zoom it in for you guys. Import your inventory to the database. So if you don't have a table from like the emulated server already created with the tables modified and everything to fit this, again, I can supply the 20-something meg one. It's 117,000 items. If you're on a server with customized items, you'll be missing those, but at least it gets you a good base, and anything that's got the same item ID that they've customized will just populate the proper data later. But on that note, you can issue RGL import in. So this is for the Mercs people. I'll rewrite this all when I do it for the standalone version. This is importing everything. 72 items from my bag, 0 items from the bank. In fact, if I look at Big Bag Bank tab, it's empty. That's because I haven't zoned recently or talked to a banker. So let's do this. Where's my Salmon Banker? Salmon Banker. Get that out of view real fast. Once I click him, I look at my bank tab. It should update in a second. Again, I'd have to change this threshold down a little bit. Did it update? Yeah, there it is. Okay, now I'll throw this back up because I don't like updating that fast. So now, if I reissue this command, oh, input in, it should input 143 more items that were in my bank. And we can verify this by looking in this table because we had mercs running. I should have 100, almost 200 items. And I do. So that's what 143 plus 72. There might be some duplicates, at which point it's just going to consolidate. But now I can also do GGE/RGL import. I didn't make the other guy's bank yet. I could, but that's okay. I don't need to. Most of them have empty banks anyway. So if it's been recent since they've zoned and their bank data is still fresh, they'll have it. Like 5 items. Yeah, these other guys for some reason still had theirs. The first time my guy was, his data had gone stale. But now we have more items in the table. This table is not going to update for me, but I can search and there will be way more items, so I can search for robes. I don't have any, but my other guys do. I don't make them updating, send it to refresh your Iron GUI window, but it does update the database, so now you can search and find any items that your guys already own, and they will stay populated in your database for you. As well as that'll help you if you need to, like say I want to go set these robes up with rules real fast. Click it. I want you to be a global rule. I want you to keep and for everybody because, you know, hey, that one I can sell as to the advisor robe. Same thing, global rule, keep everybody. So go look at the global rules. Those two are set that way. If I take this one and I just say, you know what, we're going to make you a global rule, keep, but I'm not changing the classes. There it is with the classes that were already selected. And shiny metallic robe again, global rule, keep everybody. Pretty straightforward. Again, you can delete the rules. Let's do something real fast. Let's go look at these guys. I'm going to change some rules. So I'll show you all the different. I didn't make a logo for ask, so it just tells you. I think it's something to put there, maybe a question mark. Sell, so dollar bill. Keep is the heart. Ignore is that guy. Let's see, we got, well, it'll be a trash can. Register the tribute is a present. Let's add some more items here. There you go. As bag of EY. Bank is a bank, obviously. And we'll do one more item here. Yeah, that guy. Global items. Well, I'm clearly going to change this rule. But so we got that one, and I forgot one more. Which one did I just do? Large soil bag. Light burlap sack. We'll throw that in there as well. And we'll make you West. Yes. All right. Actually, we'll do one more. And there's a reason I'll show you in a second. So if we do one more, we do quest with an item quantity. So now let me shrink this so they're in order. They're in a line. We have sell, keep, bank, destroy, ignore, tribute, quest. And if I add one more item in, I thought I did, I set it as normal. I think that's this guy. If I change him to quest, yeah, quest 2. Can't really see it because of the column. I'll make those adjustable, but there is a 2 following that. If I maybe make this as quest 1, it might change so you can actually see it. Quest 1. Huh. Earlier those columns were wider. Today now they're. I think I might have changed the column size a little. But anyway, so that's there. So it's quest light, blah blah blah. Actually, let's change you to global. Maybe that'll update and set that to the way you see it. Nope. But anyway, I think that covers all aspects of modifying, editing, adding, deleting, changing rules. Now let's do this real fast. We'll stop once more. Delete that tiny database. This is the one I was talking about before. This is the all items for the EMU server. Now if I want to look up a robe, hey, there's the 4 that I have rules for. But there's also the couple hundred, well, okay, sorry, the 1,000 and almost 1,100 different items of robe in the name. Some items you will see duplicates of, like 2 Apothic robes here. They have different item IDs, so one has different stats than the other. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to redo the loot thing, is because if we're doing everything by name could be one of multiples. Like if I search for, I think emerald is one, or let's just do cloth. We do cloth. So many pieces of cloth. Like there's just 3 caps, each with different stats or settings, and that's just the beginning of it. Like, you'll get a lot of duplicates. So sorting by ID is the way to go, and that makes our rules pertain to the correct item, with the exception of buying items, because that's by name. Merchants don't give you IDs; they just give you a list with names anyway. So we're going to follow the naming convention that they use. Yeah, I think that is everything now. And now I'm going to go reset all my table specs so I don't accidentally delete things that I don't want. Again, this new items tab, you can leave it up. If you don't make that change, this crystallized sulfur already went in. It should already go into my items. Maybe. Or oh, I actually got it set right. I'm curious why that's not showing in there. But I'll get back to that. That's a bug. Here you. Oh, there it is. That's the bug. This search is tied to this. I gotta fix that, but that's a minor bug. So yeah, it automatically adds the rules as we do. Let's find something else real fast, just to verify. So we'll come kill a swarm. Regardless of if I set the rule, it should add the initial, and then when you do get around to setting it is when it updates that setting. This way, in case you fall asleep or you walk away and went AFK, you looted a whole bunch of stuff, you come back, you can set the rules. You might have missed some things that were marked as ignore because your settings were set that way, and the corpse decayed, but the next time you loot it, you'll follow the proper settings that you already set. So these guys are there. If I take out that Chris, those items are already adding in, even though I haven't set the settings. And I can close that out. It'll re-pop up because the flag is set. So because this is set to always pop up or auto show, it will pop up the next time a new item shows up, but it's also over here again, like I said, so you can later go back and edit these. And this table is set up so that the name stretches, the rest stays wherever you set the size to. You can rearrange things, you can toggle things off with the right click. So if you don't want to see these checkboxes and stuff, go for it. I kind of like the at a glance option of, hey, is it no drop floor, augment, or trade skill? And again, you can leave stuff around. In fact, this one is nice. It's the size of how much something stacks to. So we sell for 20 a piece and they stack to 100. Of course, we want to keep or sell them. Sell is proper. Arctic wavering hides, they're for quest. There's some trade skill thing, but they also sell well. So we'll keep those two and they stack. All right. That's long-winded. It's going on 30 minutes now, so I'm gonna let you go. Ciao.